Well, it's definitely Marble season, my dudes. How you doing, everybody? It's me, Waddles, and whoo, boy, I got a banger in store for you today. The penguin, the armadillo, the crab. In today's video, we're gonna get a little bit more up close and personal with these brand new mob vote candidates. Now that it's been a couple days, let me know who you're voting for down below and delete that like button while you're at it because... Penguin, oh my gosh, the penguin. The poor penguin, I feel so terrible for you. I feel so bad. So look, it's not that I don't like the penguin, because I really, really do. The penguin is actually one of my favorite animals of all time. It's very, very cool and adorable, and the potential like model here with that yellow hat thing going on, the wig, whatever you want to call that, the toupee, the penguin toupee is really, really nice looking, but... Our very first look at the pretty penguin today comes thanks to Command Craft 53.030. How it's done inside of this mod is one penguin will spawn inside of the snowy slopes biome for every rabbit that spawns. Now the penguin, of course, as we know, it's gonna walk around on land a little bit, but it's also gonna move around in the water. If we can move one of these guys over to the water, I don't want to do this. If we get one of these guys inside the water here a little bit, look at it, it flips fully on its side and kind of like starts to swim around a little bit. Potentially absolutely amazing. Potentially absolutely adorable. Ayo, cut, freeze. Alright, they'll actually unfreeze, but definitely cut. The snowy slopes biome is definitely not where this alleged penguin will end up living. Potentially, if this mob makes it into the game, it'll be the stony shore biome. You know how it goes. With this data pack being a data pack, it's gonna take its own little creative liberties here, which means, unfortunately, if we need a fish farm, well, the penguin could be good for that. So the poor penguin, one of the reasons I feel so bad for this mob is, compared to the armadillo, compared to the crab, I feel like the functionality is maybe just not there. Like, sure, I guess we get grown up in baby version for sure, but, I mean, it's not a crab claw. It is definitely not wolf armor. I don't know if I will ever understand why Mojang did this to the penguin. Maybe they were thinking like the penguin is just cool enough on its own and it doesn't need an item or anything like that, but the poor mob, it doesn't stand a fighting chance. It doesn't stand a fighting chance even if it has a cool egg-laying functionality too. So Command Craft has taken it upon themselves to make the penguin not only a penguin and really, really beautiful looking, adorable model. It's so great, love the purple feet, but also from time to time when it walks around, it's gonna lay a penguin egg. Then we will give this penguin egg 10 minutes, kind of like a sniffer egg, and then it'll hatch. When it hatches, we'll get a baby penguin. But even with the giant egg, a baby penguin, I still don't know if it has a fighting chance. Now let's take a look at this boat functionality because this is really, really intriguing. I think in theory, this whole like faster boat mechanic could be really, really nice, but I mean, would it even translate to being on land? Because if it doesn't, it's a problem. So first things first here, to really check out this whole boat thing, we're gonna have to move a penguin off to our local... and before we can do anything with our friend, we're gonna need to move ourselves off to a bigger body of water. Now once we strike the great big blue with the penguin inside of the boat, look at how this is pulled off. So the penguin, anytime there's a penguin near a boat, basically it's summoning ice down below the boat, which is, I mean, I guess it's a little bit hard to tell here, but it's definitely speeding up the boat. Like slightly a little bit faster inside of the water, because of the blue ice. Now, a couple sad bits about this is, of course, you would have to, like, locate the penguin itself to actually get this buff. Like, check this out. I'm in a boat over here, just sailing, plain old, a little bit fast, you know, whatever. I jump over to the penguin-powered Mobile 5000, and it's, like... I think it's, like, literally the smallest bit faster. Alright, well, completely adorable, and a fascinating mob. Maybe the coolest out of all of them, but... this is why you don't stand a chance, my friend. Genuinely, it makes me so sad that we probably won't ever get to see this wonderful guy wandering around our world. At least not anytime soon. I really wonder with the penguin, would we have seen a penguin that like literally grabs onto the back of the boat and kicks too? Because that would have been beautiful. But yeah, anyways, I think it's time we move on. We move on to an adorably rare, super, super timid mob. The armadillo. Did you hear that thing scream? So the armadillo, the whole thing with this mob is that it's gonna be really, really shy. A lot of things in Minecraft, specifically bad mobs, will scare this thing into a ball. When it's in a ball, it's I'm sorry about that, buddy. When it's in a ball, it's basically like, kind of like a solid block. It doesn't take very much damage. It can take some, but not much damage. And also, arrows aren't gonna work on it. So it's almost like a shulker. Now, if we give this armadillo a little bit of time and space, then it's gonna come out of the ball and go back to life and walk around. Now, the thing with the armadillo is we can set it off. We can scare it if we move too quickly next to this thing, which means we need to move very, very slowly. We move slow. I turned too quick. I turned way too quick. Now, the tricky thing about the armadillo, which is going to live inside of the savanna biome, by the way, is the fact that it's going to be rare. So hopefully, eventually, you find an armadillo and don't scare it too much. And also, hopefully, you have eggs. Because eggs, at least how it's done in this amazing mod by Alexander's Funds and Games, are the tempting thing. Now, my savanna biome here is a little bit less than ideal. Unfortunately, not very many armadillos around, so let's say, theoretically, we had a second one. If we find a second one, move nice and slow and give them eggs, they're gonna walk over to each other and make the baby armadillo. The baby armadillo. I think this is the most adorable thing I've ever seen in my entire life. It's small, it's tiny, and it's just beautiful. Now, the big question for science here is, when you come out of your shell, little friend, can I speed you up? No, I can't. Okay, I'm really sorry about that. That's just hurting you. I should probably stop now. All right, fine, I get it. In order to expedite science, boom, let's say 10 minutes has passed and this baby grew up all of a sudden. Well, when this thing grows up, kind of like how it works with a turtle and when it hatches or whatever, we get a piece of scoop. Except this time, armadillo scoop. Kind of looks like a shield. Now look, so far, pretty much at least, this actually like adds up basically exactly to what we saw in that reveal video. That could be Jeb right now with my luscious orange hair sailing and slamming into an armadillo. It's like a proper block. That's so cool. The side note, this mob is done so high quality. All of the amounts of screams that they got. How do they get the real armadillo screams? Maybe that's an answer I don't want to know. If it makes it into the game, this implementation of Armadillo Scoot is kind of exactly how I imagine Mojang will do it. We probably won't be slaughtering Armadillo out in the wild to actually get the scoop. Instead, definitely, it makes sense that the Armadillo would grow up, drop a piece of armor, then we would slide over to the local crafting table, and with 4 of them, make the first suit. Hey, wait, Bonezo, is that you? How'd you get all the way over here? So the wolf armor, crafted with Armadillo Scoop. Unfortunately, there is only one version of it. Like, you can't dye it or anything inside of this mod, but that would be really, really cool to see. If we walk up to our dear sweet friend Bonezo with his armor and just go ahead and use it on the dog, then just like that, the armor is all of a sudden on Bonezo. Now, sweet Bonezo, you're gonna have to follow me and just save me. I'm the damsel in distress, help. So here's the thing, with the wolf armor, the wolf is gonna have a little bit more like damage protection against things like combat and stuff. Not so much things like fire. Keep in mind the fire, if it makes it into the game, will still fry your dog like usual. But like, you know, other mobs like the husk, maybe the wolf will be a little bit better against them. And actually, I didn't know that the wolf could get hunger too. Oh, that's... Alright, that's terrible. Now this wolf armor, kind of just like it is with the horse, you can put the wolf armor on the wolf, and if you want to, you can take the wolf armor back off of the wolf as well. If we had the armor on the wolf, and then for science, something terrible happened, then we take the armor back off of the wolf, we'll see that the armor doesn't take any durability at all. So kind of just like horse armor, wolf armor, fursuits, they're forever. And I'm not gonna lie, last year it was all sniffer supremacy from day one. The year before it was ally allegiance for life. This year, well, this year it's really hard for me. At first, when I saw the armadillo, I was like, oh, hands down, it's mine. I'm voting for that. And you see, I think that's the tricky part about this year's mob vote. There's so many cool mobs and options and things that go like along with it. Wolf armor, armadillo scoot. Like, it's difficult. It's a really difficult choice. But with all of that being said, I think it's now about time we head off into the foreground, background, sideground, wherever you want, because we have the world's biggest mangrove swamp here to find the crab. The Mangrove Swamp biome, the Mangrove Swamp biome, the Mangrove Swamp biome, and the crab. It's an interesting biome, I can't lie, for a crab. I feel like this biome is brand new and already has so much to it, like crazy unique trees, propagules, fish, water, mud. You know, it's a super unique biome, and frogs too, but apparently it could have one more. So step number 1 inside of the Mangrove Swamp biome is locate the Mangrove Swamp biome. After that, we need to move around inside of this biome carefully and look around for a crab. Fortunately, this crab is going to be pretty big, and it's going to stand out a lot. It's going to be orange and blue, so as soon as we see it, 100% we'll see it. We just have to see it first, if you know what I'm saying.
A few inches later.
Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. Eventually, after a little bit of time, we find a crab that is apparently, like, freaking out severely, or maybe that's just how it is. I don't know, but the crab, the Mangrove Swamp crab. So how it's done inside of this mod is absolutely beautiful and gorgeous. Oh, and another one too. Oh, that's amazing. So first off, the movement. Look at how this thing is moving around. This thing is absolutely crazy. It's kind of like the, oh, it's waving. Yeah, they wave every once in a while, too. Okay, so behavior-wise or movement-wise, it's kind of like the spider. Like it was shown off inside of that original video, it moves vertically. The mangrove trees are low-key, kind of fire and perfect for this mob because, like, you know, you got the roots and everything that it can climb up and down. As we can see here, it has one big claw and one small claw. The crab doesn't really care about my existence. I can move around in here. It's just kind of living and existing. Hey, another one too. They're all here now. Anyways, it doesn't really care about me. It just kind of moves around and jumps around every once in a while. And it waves. The crab actually waves. But take a close look at this crab. Right here, we can see that claw is pretty big. And then this crab over here, that little claw, it's like a little bit smaller. How it's going to work with this mod is we've got 3 different versions of the crab claw. Basically here, we give the crab a little bit of time and its claw is going to slowly grow. Give it a little bit more time and eventually it'll fall off when it waves onto the ground. The idea, the concept that the crab could like raise its hand and wave at you randomly from time to time and that's how it triggers the whole claw dropping off thing. Oh, that is beautiful. That is such a genius idea. I love how that's done and it's super unique too. Now, just like that beautiful armadillo that we checked out a second ago, this version of the crab was made by Alexander's Fun and Games. There's a link to the data pack and the mod down in the description. So this part would be the tricky part here, because not only do we first have to locate a crab inside of our world, but then we have to wait. Every 5 to 10 minutes, the crab's claw has a chance to randomly grow up and get to the bigger size. With the help of the spawn egg here, we could drop in a couple different random crabs and get different sizes of the crab claw. As we can see, this claw, when it's fully grown, it's actually like pretty big. Now, I think the big giveaway here when it comes to the crab's claw being fully ready to go is the opening in the claw. That crab in the middle right there trying to climb. That one that's going crazy on the tree right there, it's got an opening in the claw. Meanwhile, that one, the claw is absolutely tiny. Once its claw is fully grown and it does this little wave thing, it's got a 1 in 30 chance that the claw is just going to be way too heavy and pop off. Then the whole growing cycle begins again. I totally missed it from happening from one of these crabs over here, but crab claw right on the ground. A mechanic like this would make the crab so interesting to farm. Like you would set up maybe like a cell and put a minecart line below it or something. But anyways, the crab claw. But the crab claw, oh my gosh, the beautiful, forsaken, legendary crab claw. So this thing is wonderful looking model. When we put this thing on though, like when we hold it, look at it. I actually like properly wear the crab claw. It's wonderful. Now check this out. If we want to actually be able to use this thing, it needs to either be in our main hand and blocks in our offhand, or the other way around. Without the crab claw involved at all, if I look over at this mangrove root, I can't reach it. If I put the crab claw in my hand, all of a sudden I can. Do you see that? The crab claw is making the like block placement way farther. Like I can't place it right now, put it in my hand, all of a sudden I can place it right then. And same with like breaking too. Except, kind of not. So based off of a new piece of information that I think we'll talk a little bit more about in tomorrow's snapshot video, it looks like the crab claw is going to allow for further breaking as well, not just placing. And that right there, my friends, is the game changer. Imagine being able to walk around, say, in the Mangrove Swamp biome and just reach up with a crab claw in hand like you found one from one of the crab friends and you just pick the propagules. You could just break the leaves. You could just like, I don't know, look all the way up there and jump a little bit, place a block if you wanted to. Maybe like do your build really, really high up in the air for no reason. Diamond house, diamond floating wall? Yeah, why not? The only downside with the crab claw, the poor crab claw that I hope doesn't get implemented is it does have durability. If we go ahead and turn advanced tooltips on, we'll find that 100 durability. Unfortunately and tragically, every time we use this crab claw for placing a block really, really far away, it's going to consume 1 durability. And there's no item in the game that heals it. You'll have to get another one. But that block placing right there, I know it's another inventory item that clogs it up a little bit, but combine the block placing with the Mangrove Swamp biome, with the beautiful texture, with the funny animations, and maybe waving and hopefully raving too, and lads, I think we got a winner. I think we've got a winner this year, lads. The crab, the armadillo, the penguin. Which one out of the 3 mob vote mobs this year are you gonna vote for? Today, huge shout out to the amazing data pack maker and mod creator. This video wouldn't have been possible without them. If you like the mods, check them out. They're down in the description. If you liked the video, delete that like button and subscribe for more. Huge videos coming this week. Patreon gang, a big shout out. Archangel, Ground Crazy Mate, Medical Boomstick, Swoopy Loopers, Noodle Pork, Bill W, Tanner B, Austin V, Andrew H, and Gabriel Y. They're all legendary. Check out all my links. They're down in the description. This has been me, Waddles, and I'll see you tomorrow. Signing off.